What's up? Welcome to the efficient walkthrough of Dark Souls 3. On this part, this will be the conclusion of the Ring City DLC. I didn't think it would take this many parts, this many videos to do. This will be the fourth one, finishing up the Ring City DLC. I broke off from the main part of the Ring City playthrough and just fought and took out Dark Eater Madir. And since I did so, I went ahead and made the frayed blade from his soul, katana that causes dark damage, and I'm gonna go ahead and use that in the next boss fight. And we're at the ringed inner wall bonfire, and we're gonna take the shortcut up. And we're going to break our covenant, I guess, for being a spear of the church. And I'm not even gonna fight this guy. We're just gonna run past him and go to the doors. That way, I want to make sure I have full Estus. By the time we get up to the doors, he should just turn around and leave us alone. At least that's been my experience. Yeah, totally. And I am offline, so I will not be fighting another player. Yes, you are warned. Because we are going to forsake our covenant. And for this fight, if you're playing online, I'm sure there'll be a ton of summon signs. This is a popular place for you to summon people, because you pretty much just get to gank someone if you want. But you also have the option of summoning patches. So, and it's patches, why not? So let's bring him with us. For the most part, a lot of the fights that I've done in the DLC, I guess from memory though, the last time I came through here, it was with a lower level character. I did it on New Game Plus 2 with the level 50 character. And I brought patches in, and it really brought up the other person's, the Painting Guardian, as well as whoever got summoned in, whether it was the NPC or the regular player. I died several times here. It really boosts their HP up when you summon in help for this. Probably not so much on the regular new game cycle. So I did find it a lot easier when I went in by myself. But let's find out. Alright. So when we very first walk in, the giant will be standing in the back and letting you know that he's not happy that we're here. You can run up and just kill him if you like. He will fight back a little bit. Or you can wait until he summons. He'll summon a Painting Guardian first, and then he'll still be here, and then when he summons your actual opponent, either the PvP person or the NPC, he will disappear. So we're gonna run straight to the middle and get in hopefully a back. Oh, never mind. Since when does a Painting Guardian get so much hyper armor? And the Painting Guardians can heal, and they will heal whoever the boss is as well, if they're in the radius of the heal. See if I can get a bleed. There we go. 144? Jeez, that bleed is not very good. I don't use katanas a lot, so just bear with me here. Oh, wow. Alright, so I gotta play this a little bit more careful. And they will keep summoning the painting guardians. And there's one now. Hopefully Patches can hold his own for a minute. I much prefer strength weapons. Oh, there goes Patches down. Boy, she just gets right out of any attack. Interesting. Okay, so we get a Covenant item and a Titanite slab for defeating this boss. I don't know if that really felt that fair. Pretty much she had unlimited hyper armor. She broke out of any type of attack I had going, and every single one of her attacks would stagger me. I don't know. I should probably stick with weapons that I know a little bit better, huh? Alright, moving on. We're gonna just keep going straight forward here. There'll be a bonfire right after the fight. And if you enjoy doing that fight, you can head back to the Purging Monument. And for a price of souls, I don't know if it matters what level you are, because a lot of times it'll scale with your level, like when you're healing your hollow or whatnot. But you can pay to re-establish yourself in the Covenant, and you can come back and redo this boss fight every time you go and pay to restart it. That's fine. Alright, so right outside the elevator, we're going straight up to see what happens when we wake up the princess. And there shouldn't be anything in this room. big spoiler alert, big spoiler alert coming up here, so heads up, I guess, if you're worried about that. So we're just going to touch the shell that she's resting on. Don't mind me. And disturb her slumber. And it appears that somehow she was holding together the time and space of what the Ring City was, I guess. And when you awake her, everything gets thrusted into the future where everything that you know is pretty much gone. I don't know. I'm not a huge lore person. I know a little bit, but yeah. So light up the bonfire, and she's done, I guess. And from this point, we're gonna head out into the sand. The final boss fight is up ahead, but before we get to that, there's a few things to do out here. One of the pygmy kings is crawling up, looking for help.
Help me, please. The Red Hood is come to eat us, to eat our dark soul.
Anyway, so head over the left dune, and around the side of the building we're in, there's another ring knight with the paired ultra great swords. And by killing him, you will automatically get another titanite slab. So 2 chunks is what he dropped, and I automatically get the slab. And from that point, we'll head back over the dune hill. Is it called a dune hill, or should I just say dune? I'm trying to be accurate. And let's see, so where did we come from? That way. Okay, so we want to go to the right hand side now. So straight ahead through the doorway will be the boss fight over there. We want to go to the right hand side, and there will be a building with an item. Right through this corridor. And when you go in here, you have to go pretty much all the way to the back. We're going to get invaded by Shira, because she is done pissed. She's fucking pissed at us. So we're gonna fight her, and by killing her, we will get her weapon. It's the halberd that has dark and a really awesome weapon art. And the R2 works like the Great Club's R2. I think it's called like Curse of a Mad King? I might be wrong. Maybe there's not an item in here. Whatever. The point is, we gotta go back to the back wall here.
I've searched for thee, dark-stricken
She
creature.
is actually
I am
pretty
Shira,
tough.
daughter of the Duke, descendant of gods, and trusted friend to Medea. At once, I am the honor of the gods, the glory of fire, and the fear of the dark. Thou shalt not go unpunished for thy treachery, thy profanity, and thy shameless yearning.
I was gonna let her finish what she was saying. So, when she does the lightning arrow there, she'll try and roll catch you. So be careful of that. Watch out for her weapon art. The lightning arrow does quite a bit of damage, surprisingly. Oh, there it is, right there. The weapon art will blast you right off your feet. Heal it up. Yep. Alright, she's out of SS. But she's got some poise now. Alright, it's almost over. That didn't get her? There we go.
Never would I ever forgive thy lowly kind.
Crucifix of a Mad King. It is a really cool weapon. It scales off of faith. It has a D in strength and faith, but it definitely gets way better scaling with faith. It'll bring up the dark damage as well as physical with just the faith. Oh, I ran out of... There we go. Oh, I can't even do the weapon art because I guess I don't meet the requirements, but... Yeah, it's a really cool weapon. Alright, so that's all there is to do out here in the sand until we go and fight the last boss, which is Gale, all hyped up on Dark Souls steroids. And with, let's see, it's not necessarily an easy fight. In fact, I'm gonna make sure I have some poison knives. One thing he is vulnerable to is poison. So it's a good idea to use that, especially if you're having some trouble. But before we take on Gale and finish this up, Shira's armor set is now available. So let's go grab that and then we'll just come right back and do the fight. So and her armor set is at the so the door where we talked to her at is now open, and we can go inside there, and no enemies can go in there. So we'll just take the Ring City streets and we'll run straight up the stairs, and even if anyone's following us, we'll go in the door and we'll be safe. It'll be the quickest, easiest way to get in there. So we'll head out the main door, work our way around to the left. And just make a mad dash. There we go. And right in the middle of the room, we get all of Shura's armor, even the crown. And since we're here, I want to point out, this is my favorite spot to farm the Herald Legion Knights. You can let them come right up to the doorway here. And just stand back. And take them out at your leisurely, basically, without worrying too much about getting hit. That way you can wear the mimic head, as well as like everything that raises your item discovery, without worry about being overweighted or anything like that. So. And you just grab their attention and come back up in the room and just farm them, because there's so many here. You do quite a good chance to get their armor to drop if you're looking for it. But yeah. Anyway. All right. I'm gonna head into the shrine and use the rest of these souls just in case I lose them, and get suited up for the fight with Gale. It's a pretty intense one. And then we'll be right back to the bonfire right by Phil and Nora.
Ah, toward Elfrida, if thou and in women and last.
So for the Gale fight, I switched to the Millwood Battle Axe. Has a very quick rolling R1. Does quite a bit of physical damage. I don't really think it's worth it to use bleed on him too much, because the bleed, when you do get the bleed, it only does like maybe 300 damage. It's not really worth it. I got poison knives, which I'll use more towards the second half of the fight, and some rotten pine resin. I'll put on my weapon and see if we can get the poison instilled right from the beginning on him. It doesn't do like a huge amount of damage, but a decent amount to sway the fight if we're getting close towards the end, you know. The first part of the fight is just a pretty simple one-on-one. We'll keep our distance from him and wait for the bigger attacks that he does. It leaves him open. Get 2 hits, maybe 3 hits in on him, and then get some distance between us again. The second half of the fight, he's way in your face, and basically the same thing. There's like 2 combos you kind of watch for. I think one of them is like a 4-hit combo and the other one's a 3-hit. So you let him do those combos and you'll see the opening at the end of it, and that's when you go in and get your attacks in. And as I'm keeping my distance and rolling and evading his attacks, I'll be throwing some poison knives at him to hopefully get him to get his health down a little bit as we go. But yeah, so just walk through the archway at the bottom of the sand dunes straight ahead. We'll get this fight underway. Now the fight will take place in this immediate area. If you do die and come back, the fight will start as soon as you come out of the area where Philonora is, and he'll come running up the hill for you. There's quite a bit of room to move around because you don't have to stay down here. The fight can come all the way up here and continue up. So there's a ton of room. One thing you can do to help you out is use the terrain to your advantage. If you're at an off-level place, there's a chance that he'll miss his attack if they're like if you're up a hill or down the hill and he's opposite of you. When he swings, it might go over your head or whatnot. I mean, it's not like a preferred tactic. You're not going to win the fight just by doing that, but it could save you from a few extra hits, you know. So fucking Gale. It seemed like such a nice guy.
What? Still here? Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
Such savagery. Oh shit, I didn't get the poison. Yeah, let's get some distance here. Alright, so he's got a couple of like big charge attacks like that leave him open. So I'm just waiting for a good heavy attack that he's gonna do, like right here. The ones where he pauses for a moment in the air are perfect. Definitely take your time with the first part. You want to conserve your Estus until the second half of the fight. Alright, and this is where it goes crazy, so just keep dodging backwards, and that last thrust attack, you can get in and get a couple hits in. Running out of stamina. And I just rolled towards him when he does that. I got greedy there. Oh, come on. Where's that poison at? Alright. So first half, kind of take your time. Don't get greedy. Attack with your openings. Conserve your Estus. Because now shit's about to get real. I can't believe I didn't get that poison set though. Let's see if the throwing knives do any better. Now he also is going to attack with his cape. So every time he swings his sword, a second attack is going to swirl around, which is his cape, to try and hit you. And I think the cape does dark damage. Oh wow, I staggered him off that shit. Alright, let's roll through those and just run to the side to avoid the crossbow. Okay, the poison's set, so I'm gonna boost my attack power now. And watch out for the Way of White spell to come back. And I've seen people run up and hit him while he's using the crossbow before, but I've never really used that tactic, so I can't say it works for sure. Let's see if we can hide behind the, nope, he destroys the fucking thrones. Alright, let's get some more space going. We're gonna go up on the hill. You can use these leftover building fragments to your advantage as well. You can put it between you and him. He'll miss all the crossbow shots. I'm gonna try and get that poison set in. Watch out for the flying skulls. Alright. Alright. Definitely gonna keep the distance now. Alright, now we want to watch for his combos. Alright, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and now hit him. One, and that's 3 right there. Shit. You can also get hurt by the lightning, by the way, so watch those lit spots on the ground. If you get too far, he can disappear and reappear right by you as well. I really want to get that poison on him again. Oh shit. Okay, I'm out. Go, 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 go. See right there, I think I just got missed because of the difference. Oh no! Oh, fuck! Because of the landscape, because we're on the hill. I gotta quit attacking right then. I do it immediately again. All right, we're almost done. Let me just take your time with him. And pay attention to what he's doing, and you can just easily see like 1, 2, and this will be 3. One more hit. There we go. $349,000 souls, not bad. So we get the blood of we get blood of the Dark Soul and soul of Slave Knight Gale, which you can use to make his crossbow or his sword. And his sword is pretty much like an exact variation of the Executioner's Greatsword. It does strike damage like the Executioner's Greatsword does, which is that's the only Greatsword that does strike damage. And strike damage is it's a better damage to use rather than like thrust or slash. You'll get more damage out of it because it's strike. It's a little less common. But it also does thrust damage with the R2 because it has a tip on it. It scales pretty much the same. The damage is right around the same as the Executioner's Greatsword. But the weapon art with Gale's Greatsword is really good. You initiate it, you get that little like the jumping slam down move, and then you can switch it up between R1 or R2. You can do a spin attack, or you can jump backwards and then jump forward and do the slash. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But so that's Gale. There is one more thing we can grab before we go. So we're gonna head all the way back. Oh, not even here. We're gonna head all the way back to the very beginning, to the drag heap, where we met the pilgrim lady that was selling us goods. And you can hear that that howling now. She has ascended and become an angel, a non-hostile angel. You will not get shot at by her. You can pick up her ashes and give them to the handmaid, so you can continue to buy what she sells. Chances are you probably already bought it all, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't think anything else changes in the DLC now. I can't think of anything to go back and get. The best thing there is now in the DLC is farming. You can farm up a lot of upgrade materials, and a lot of the enemies are worth a lot of souls. Pretty much farming like the Ring Knights, you're gonna earn way more souls that way than like doing like Lothric Knights, or I mean the Winged Knights in Grand Archives are still really good, but we haven't even got to that point yet. So if you need to do any more leveling up or need some upgrade materials, this is the spot for it throughout the DLC. But I think that's it. Where did we leave? Hold that thought. I do have one more thing to do, because we got to do something with the dark soul that we got. Blood of the dark soul that seeped from the hole within Slave Knight Gale, used as pigment by his lady in Ariandel to depict a painted world. When Gale came upon the pygmy lords, he discovered that their blood had long ago dried, and so consumed the dark soul. We need to go give this away. It's time to go finish a painting. So back in the Ashes of Ariandel, we're going to go to the Ariandel Chapel, head up the ladder, and we'll give it to the lady so she can paint. And you notice, after going and doing the Ring City DLC, more of the chapel has now begun to burn. It's a nice, cool little added effect. So we'll head straight up the ladder here. Yeah, this whole place is fucking burning down. And our beautiful young artist.
Ashen One, thy gift of flame has taken root, and Uncle Gale will soon bring the pigment. Pigment, colored like the dark soul of man. I wonder if Uncle Gale has found it, the pigment, colored like the dark soul of man.
Alright, let's give it to her.
My thanks, Ashen One. With this will I paint a world. Please tell me thy name. I would name this painting after thee.
And it doesn't matter. You can share your name or say I have no name. It doesn't make any difference. It'll change your dialogue slightly, but no, it's up to you. Completely up to you.
My thanks. I will paint a world of that name. It will be a cold, dark, and very gentle place. And one day, it will make someone a goodly home. I wonder when Uncle Gale intends his return. I hope the new painting will be to him a gentle home.
So is it... So is she painting it to be a home to Gale?
My thanks. I will assuredly finish the painting of a cold...
Yeah.
One day, it will make someone a goodly home. My thanks. I will of a one day.
Alright, huh. And that is it. That's the big grand finale of the Dark Soul. If only it had much more meaning than that. Alright, I need to quit spazzing out. Alright. I just wanted to insert this in there. Where'd we leave off? Do we finish? We killed Aldrich, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So from this point, we'll head back into the main game. We'll go to the Dragon Barracks bonfire of Lothric Castle, and we'll take on the Dragon Slayer armor, and then make our way into the Grand Archives. And yeah. We're pretty much almost done. Awesome. I'm really trying to think if there's anything I'm missing in the DLC. I really hope I'm not. I think that's everything, so. Alright, you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you on the next episode of the Efficient Walkthrough. A fine Dark Soul to you.